Hey, when you're putting a bet down online, do you ever stop and think, really think, about who's actually holding your cash?
Hmm.
You see the flashy site, the good odds, maybe, but is it, the big brand you think it is,
Yeah.
or something else?
That's a great question, and it's exactly what we're getting into today.
Right.
We're talking about white label betting sites.
White label? Okay.
Well, probably the easiest way to picture it is kind of like fast food franchises.
Oh, interesting analogy. Go on.
Well, you got these bigger companies, right? They build the main platform.
The software, the odds feeds, how payments work, that stuff.
Exactly. All that core infrastructure.
Yeah.
And then they basically lease it out, the whole package, to different brands.
So I might see, say, 3 different betting websites. They look different, maybe have different logos, different sign-up bonuses.
Yeah.
But underneath the hood, it's actually the same engine running all 3.
Pretty much. Same tech, often the same odds provider, same payment processing, all supplied by one of these bigger platform companies.
Wow. Okay. So multiple brands, one backbone.
You got it. And it makes sense, right? For the platform providers, it lets them scale up, make money, licensing their tech.
Sure.
And for someone wanting to start a betting site, it's way easier. Lower startup cost, faster launch.
Means the team running that specific brand
Yeah.
might be pretty small then?
Often, yeah. Sometimes really small.
Yeah.
Their main job becomes marketing, basically just getting people onto the site.
Okay, which leads us straight to the big question.
Yeah.
What does all this mean for the person placing the bet? For you, the listener.
Yeah, this is where it gets important to be aware.
How so?
Well, first up, there's the safety of your money.
Right, your balance.
If one of these smaller white label operations runs into trouble or just, decides to shut down,
Getting your money back could be tough.
it definitely could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might not have the deep pockets or the financial stability of a big independent operator.
And customer support too, I imagine, if it's a small team.
Exactly. Could be slower replies, maybe less power to actually fix certain problems if the issue is with the main platform they're licensing.
Ah, so they're kind of stuck in the middle sometimes.
They can be, yeah. More like intermediaries.
Hmm.
And this ties into another thing our sources mentioned. Some of these setups are almost disposable.
Disposable. What do you mean, like throwaway sites?
Well, maybe not quite that crude, but the idea is that some might be set up without a focus on, long-term reputation building.
So attract customers quickly, make some money, and if things go south.
They might just close up shop, maybe even reappear later under a completely different brand name.
Okay, that feels a bit dodgy. Doesn't exactly scream security and fair play.
Precisely. The focus might lean more towards short-term revenue rather than, building trust over years.
All right, so faced with all this, what can people actually do? How can you be smarter about this?
Good question. There are definitely steps you can take. First, and this is crucial, look for the licensing information.
Where they're regulated.
Yeah. Reputable sites will show this clearly. Usually in the footer, it tells you which gaming authority oversees them. That gives you some level of protection.
Okay, check the license. Got it. What else?
Try and see if you can figure out who the underlying platform provider is.
How would you do that?
Sometimes it's mentioned in the About Us section, or again, maybe small print in the footer. You might see names like Every Matrix, maybe Bet Construct, Soft Swiss is another one.
And knowing that helps how?
It doesn't guarantee anything, but it tells you a bit more about the tech foundation. You know who built the engine, at least.
Right. Adds a layer of understanding.
Exactly. And then the boring bit, but read the terms and conditions.
Ah, the T&Cs. Everyone's favorite pastime.
I know. But honestly, understanding their rules on deposits, withdrawals, especially how they handle disputes before you have a problem, it can save a lot of headaches.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Just general caution, really. If a site feels overly anonymous, like you can't easily find out what company is actually behind it or there are no clear contact details,
That's a red flag.
definitely a potential red flag, yeah. Transparency matters.
So, wrapping this up then, the big takeaway seems to be know who you're really dealing with when you bet online.
Absolutely. Don't just assume the brand name tells the whole story.
Because sometimes that big, impressive-looking betting house, well, the house might not even have a proper roof, so to speak.
That's a good way to put it. It's worth taking that extra look behind the curtain.
Definitely gives you something to think about next time you're browsing those odds. Makes you wonder, where else online are we interacting with something that isn't quite what it appears to be on the surface?